support defunding the police, but
Yes.
it's almost inevitable now that this is what will happen here in Toronto after Mayor Tory's announcement today. Deputy Mayor Michael Thompson says that this is actually going to be a detasking of the police. So homelessness, domestic violence, addiction, social issues, assigning those responsibilities to other trained individuals. This also means, though, less money for the Toronto police, putting money towards those resources. I'm wondering why you don't support a detasking of the police, and should those who are specifically and specially trained to deal with homelessness, domestic violence, addiction, should they be tasked with responding to these calls or not?
Well, first of all, I just don't believe in defunding the police. I think it's a massive, massive error, and we can call it whatever it is. I believe in funding them, absolutely, when it comes to mental health issues, going on a call, which we are doing right now with certain areas. And we just gave the police additional money, no matter if it's about crime, guns and gangs, other areas. So when you call 911, we're short 100 police officers. You know, like you got to be kidding me. Let's increase funding for areas of community outreach. You know, building better relationships with communities. But just to cut them by what, $100 million I'm hearing, and like I don't understand it. I do not believe in cutting police budgets. Simple as that. I believe in increasing them and supporting them when it comes to, again, community outreach and other areas, be it mental health issues on a call. Yeah, are they not trained for that? I agree. There should be better training for the police in those situations and bringing someone, an expert, along with them. But just remember, if you call 911, you don't have someone showing up in an emergency. There's 100 police officers short right now. And I hear the stories from the frontline police officers. Downtown, there might be 3 or 4 cars sometimes in all of downtown. You know, do you want that? I don't want it. And I'll tell you one thing, I guarantee you the vast majority of the people, when you call 911, you expect the call to be answered, you expect the police to be there like ASAP, depending on what the 911 call is about.
Follow-up?
Premier, I'm just wondering, because Mayor Tory, what he said today, we've heard this from many people in the community. Mayor Tory said you cannot say that it is a system that is working when we have seen very recently instances of people in distress, police are called, and that person ends up dead. Now, we don't know all the details of some of these more recent cases yet, but I think everyone would agree that when you call police and someone is in mental distress, medical distress, in a crisis situation, how are people ending up deceased?
Well, you know something, you make a very valid point, and that's where we need extra strengths with the police. We need more funding for issues if they go on a call, and if it's a mental health call and someone has an issue, just like you're seeing in Brampton right now. They have their team there. And yes, that's not a problem, but simply you tell the police you're cutting 10% and reallocating it somewhere else. Guess where they're getting it from? They're going to cut 100 police officers off the streets. I don't believe in cutting the police officers off the streets. I believe in increasing and supporting them on the different issues, no matter if it's community outreach or again, mental health issues. But you just don't cut frontline police officers, and that's what will end up happening. I'm not saying he's wrong. What I'm saying is you don't cut police. Ask for increased funding. Ask the feds. We gave a ton of money when it came to guns and gangs. I'll pitch in too. But let's get the feds involved, the province involved. But I do not want to see frontline police officers cut.
Premier, as you saw as I'm sure you read on Mayor Tory's motion on the changes, there were actually calls for the province to do some things too.
Yep.
One of those is to review the Police Act and review and overhaul equipment and use of force regulations to emphasize de-escalation,
yep.
You know, and further methods, you know, to address deadly force. So, you know, the province taking a more active role in looking at its own legislation. Will you commit to that?
Sure, I'd be more than happy to sit down and talk to the mayor and talk to other mayors within Ontario and get their input. But I also want to sit down and talk to the police as well. So that's what I think we need to do. And you know something, again, I'm not saying you know, it's right or wrong. I just don't believe in cutting frontline police officers. What I do believe in is supporting them through the province or the feds to address these issues. And absolutely, I'd be